Bonsoir, tout le monde. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our meetings of the 29th of January, 2026. And we've had some cold weather. And on that note, I just wanted to say we had a lot of outages. And I really want to applaud our mayors who've been involved with that, from Pontiac West, from Mansfield, Waltham, and I think, we're really all working together as a team. We hope, we had the minus 32, which was very cold. Some of you, your municipalities have had a robocall, and I just wanted to make a public announcement here. And it's a preventative measure. Hydro-Quebec are asking Lil Zalumet, Sheenborough, Chichester, Waltham, Mansfield, possibly part of Fort College, to be very cautious with power tomorrow morning from 6 until 10. Yes, to literally, because the big outage when it was minus 32 was really caused by everyone waking up and literally at 7:10, turning the heat up, and that was enough to, unfortunately, person who called me from Hydro-Quebec today said we have a fragile system. I said, oh yes, we know, and we're hoping it's temporary. But the preventative message, I think, will go a long way, because to just do with a little less electricity being used versus having an outage for a few days was so inconvenient and so cold. So just wanted to, and I believe our robocalls got out of his desks, Mayor Armstrong and Mayor Spence, and Chichester as well, Mayor Gagnon, as well as Mayor and our Waltham. Mayor's not here yet. Okay, that's. I want to also welcome our pro-mayor from Fort College.
Good evening.
Good to see you, Gaetan.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being here. All right, so we will jump into our TNO meeting, and we've done the opening. The attendance sheet, I believe, is going around. Just a reminder that the recording of this sitting is being done through YouTube. It will be available on our website, the recording of the meeting, I would think by tomorrow. We will now declare the language of your choice. Je should read out the recording sitting on YouTube. Cette séance publique du Conseil est enregistrée et diffusée en direct sur le compte YouTube de la MRC de Pontiac à MRC Pontiac 920. Enregistrement est également rendu disponible le jour suivant la séance sur le site web de la MRC de Pontiac. This public sitting council is recorded and broadcast live on the MRC Pontiac YouTube account at MRC Pontiac 920. The recording is also made available the day after the sitting on the MRC Pontiac website. Declaration of the language of your choice, or déclaration d'utilisation de la langue de son choix. Je rappelle l'importance pour les membres du Conseil régional et les autres participants à la séance de s'exprimer librement dans la langue de leur choix. Au besoin, il y aura la présence sur place d'une ressource de la MRC pour assurer une traduction. I'd like to reiterate the importance for regional council members and other participants in the sitting to express themselves freely in the language of their choice. If necessary, a resource of the MRC will be available to translation. Go on to the declaration. De la préfète, statement by the warden. Nous sommes élus par les gens du Pontiac pour les représenter au milieu de nos capacités. Il s'attend à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement le débat et les discussions de cette réunion et, si j'entends des paroles négatives ou des critiques à l'égard de quelqu'un d'autre, j'arrêterai la réunion et demanderai à cette personne de s'excuser. Merci. We are elected by the people of Pontiac to represent them to the best of our ability. They expect us to conduct our meetings in a professional and businesslike manner. I will be listening very carefully to the debate and discussion in this meeting, and if I hear any words of negativity or criticism of anyone else, I will stop the meeting and ask that person to apologize. Thank you. I will now turn to Ms. Lesage Deji and Clerk Treasurer, who will be reading an excerpt from the Municipal Code of Quebec, namely section 159.
Le président du conseil maintient l'ordre et le décorum et décide les questions d'ordre sauf appel au conseil. Il peut ordonner l'expulsion de l'endroit où se tient une séance du conseil de toute personne qui en trouve l'ordre. Article 159. The officer presiding over the sitting of the council maintains order and decorum and decides questions of order, saving appeal to the council. He may order that any person disturbing a sitting of the council be removed from that place where the sitting is held.
Okay, thank you. Number 5, the reading and adoption of the TNO agenda. Would someone like to make a resolution? Thank you very much, Councillor Ed Walsh. All those in favor and opposed, and that carries. The declaration of interest. Does anyone at the table have a declaration of conflict or interest in this particular agenda? Seeing none. Number 7, I need to have a resolution for the adoption of the minutes of our last meeting in December. Moved by Councillor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number 8, our first question period and statements. And I think we have one person in the audience tonight, but this is not the time. We'll wait till our main meeting. Thank you very much. And I'd also like to welcome.
Jane,
Oh, yes.
sorry, do you have the resolution for the first one to open the meeting or? I did
Oh, my gosh. They are involved. How would you like to move it?
yeah.
Yes. Did anyone else notice? Thank you very much. I know, I launched into my speech about cold weather. Moved by Councillor Jean-Louis Corrigan. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is. And this and the others, I want to welcome Lily Ryan, who has not covered for the Journal and MRC Council of Mayors meeting. Was 20 years ago that she came to her last one, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that was my.
You must have been about 10 years old.
It's very tragic at first.
Where you go. And of course,
I think remembers.
Yeah.
and some of the new mayors may not know, but Fred Ryan and Lavery, Lavery own the Pontiac Journal, but Fred, I guess, began it, is that right?
He did, and I bought the Pontiac Journal 14 years ago.
So you are the owner, pardon me, and you also have the Elmer Bulletin.
And the West Quebec Post as well as the Gatineau Bulletin.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for being here. So we will go on to finances, number 9.1, accounts paid, Andrea Lafleur, and we'll need a resolution after this.
So we need a resolution to start with for the accounts payable in the amount of $111,389.64. And it's been well detailed on your list, and I decided as to what those expenses pertain to, if you have any questions about that.
Could you generally explain that, just because it, for any members of the public, for watching and for our media, it's good to know.
Okay, so the total expenses were $111,289.64. It was made up of approximately 15 different invoices. There was a large one in there for aromatic, which is for the air in the TNO if there's an accident or anything to get them out. That was almost 20 grand. And then there's an amount that was issued to the MRC Pontiac because the TNO gives an amount services and it is on a quarterly basis. There was an amount paid out to Mansfield for TNO waste, and as well an amount to the municipality of Water Lake for TNO waste. Those were the big amounts. in that amount.
Okay, great, wonderful, thank you. Any comments or questions?
Just one,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
is that the annual fee or was that, did that include calls they actually had to go in and get people out for that 19?
for the airmedics,
Yeah, is that,
that's the annual fee.
okay,
Yeah.
did we have any calls, do you know, from last?
Since we signed up in 2021, we've had one call.
Okay.
But they didn't fly, so. That wouldn't.
Exactly, perfect,
Nothing
thank you.
Preventative.
Thank you.
But without that, it would be very difficult.
Oh, yeah,
And the
So-
cost is covered 100% by the users,
correct.
so,
Oh, very good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Councillor Walsh, would you like to move the resolution? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Okay, we'll go on to the budget for the TNO 2026. So we have a summary and then we'll need a resolution.
I have a PowerPoint, I did a
Great,
PowerPoint.
good for you, wonderful.
Can I change the background color, Shane?
We have our color scheme
Yeah.
for Pontiac, our new marketing. Yes, colors like peach, sort of salmon, and it was just a little hard to read the numbers.
Yeah,
So now it's very clear. Thank
yeah,
you.
so this is just the
I like
new
the
page.
forest and
And then these are my graphs, so your revenues in 2026 versus your revenues in 2025. And then the following page, and this will be on the Emerson's website probably tomorrow. And then there's a revenue graph for the expenses and investments. And then the last page is the detailed revenues and expenses. There's been no change since plenary. So we could go over it. So the 2026 budget, the taxes is 391,177. There was an increase of 65 cents to 67 cents for the road. 142,702 in lieu of taxes, licenses and permits 1,750. Transport 424,000, interest 25,000, other revenues 24,000. The big increase in other revenues is because we're going to purchase a new capital item, which is a new truck, and we will sell the truck that we have now to the PPJ. So that's why you're seeing an increase in other revenues. General administration, 264,881. There's an increase there because I'm hoping to hire a part-time person to work with Richard Manager to obtain a lot of his knowledge in 2026. Mr. Manager, we're hoping will be with us till the end of 2027, but we need to get somebody trained in his position a little bit. Public security, 66,672. Transport, 511,000. Waste management, 45,828. And this is all recovered, the 45,828 is all paid by the users. Land use and regional development, 19,898. Financing costs, 350. So our total expenses are 908,629, and then we have a capital expenditure of 100,000. And that gives us a balanced budget without affecting the surplus. We are going to use more money in 2026 out of our fund mise en valeur. We confirmed with our auditor that we can purchase a vehicle for TNO use and pay an additional salary out of that.
that's it. Thank you very much. Any comments or questions? Okay, good. I have a resolution for support. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Doris Ranger. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 9.2.2. The bylaw 307/2026 for expenses and revenues of the TNO for the year 2026 adoption.
We'll just put it on the screen.
Just keep doing this.
So this just details, the bylaw details the expenses we just spoke about. It also details how much each user will pay for certain services. For instance, aromatic in 2025 was 1979 a user. It was a slight increase, so it's gonna be 2008 per user. And the garbage fee has also gone up, just go down. Okay, so that's the aromatic right there, 17,953, so it's 2008 per user.
up a little bit before we for the garbage. Great. Sorry, guys. That's where you'll see the 67 cents per hundred for the assessment, and the garbage fee, I believe, went up to 15.9 something per user, just to cover our cost of the $45,828.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, thank you very much. And are there any other comments or questions? I believe that Councillor Donny Daniel had his hand up, so you will move this. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you, thanks Andrea, great job. Number 10, protocol agreement between the TNO and the ZECs. We'll need a resolution. You'll be doing it. Thank you very much. DG Kim Lesage.
C'est une résolution pour le renouvellement de protocole d'entente entre le TNO et les ZEC pour les chemins rapides de Joachim, le chemin Bois-Franc, le chemin Osborne et Chemin. So this resolution is for the renewal of the protocol agreement between the TNO and the ZECs for Rapid de Joachim, Bois-Franc, James Lake, Osborne, which is Pickenock, and Chemin roads. Lease holders pay specific taxes of $90 for the maintenance of roads, which is in the bylaw that Andrea just presented. And so with this agreement, they're not obliged to pay the right-of-way fee when crossing a ZEC to access their lease. So this resolution would be to mandate the director of the territory to sign a protocol agreement with the ZEC CONSEIL, the ZEC Saint-Patrice, the Rapid de Joachim, for the Rapid de Joachim Road, Bois-Franc, Osborne, and Chemin, to enable taxpayers, outfitters, and their TNO customers to cross the territory of a ZEC without having to pay the corresponding circulation fee.
Great, thank you very much. Any, yes, questions?
That's the $90 is the road pass,
The $90 is paid in all the leases, everybody's,
that has the lease up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I wanna access the ones that I have to travel through,
you would have
They're
to
up
pay
there.
there, yeah.
so that's where that $90, or that's just for
That's
the lease
what
holders?
we use for the road maintenance for all leaseholders. So our main roads, so these 4 main roads, all the work that we do every year, so the grading and sometimes we add some granular material, that's where that $90 comes.
Okay, but that's paid per individual?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I was getting, road pass, that's what I have to pay.
No, not at the ZEC pass, it's paid in your taxes from the TNO taxes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because as you know, there's a lot of road maintenance needed.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that. The trucker 2 years.
Yeah, the pass itself to go through the ZEC will used to be $10, but I don't know.
You know, it's with for the year $60.
For the year, yeah.
So that's
Or
why
you pay what if you go only once, you pay
you pay for.
top that.
Other question?
Yes, who first? Kevin? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I asked Jason at the last meeting or whatever meeting we had about it, and to answer his question, I think he was asking if you could use a different road in your lease. You're designated one road. So in my lease, I'm designated Pickenock, so if I did go up through Jim's Lake through that ZEC, I would have to pay. He's looking into it, but I think that's kind of what your question was. If you went through a different ZEC that's not on yours, you would have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause we have, well, it's not even our territory inside, so I should say.
That's right.
Okay.
Thanks for
Thanks.
clarifying that, Councillor Murphy. And Councillor Walsh. Did you have a question? You were just making, then he had his hand up.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyone else need to comment on this or any questions? Okay. Could I have a resolution? Would you like to move it then?
Sure.
Thank you very much. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number 11. Recommendations of the MRC Pontiac Fire Safety Committee, Julian Gagnon. 11.1, installation of prevention signage and pamphlets in the TNO. So please explain all about this.
Yes, good evening, everyone. This is a recommendation from the CSI committee, donc c'est pour la mise en place de signalisation ou de dépliant de prévention pour le TNO. So this is a file, the TNO, of course, as you know, is a very vast territory that has a lot of isolated areas. And for those reasons, we've been getting for the last 5 or so years, a lot of emergency response calls in the TNO that require a lot of rescues for sometimes users that aren't always prepared when they go to the TNO, and we want to raise awareness in the TNO and make sure that the users know before they enter the TNO, they should, there is no cell phone reception. You should have enough gas and food, and tell your loved ones where you're going and how long you'll be there, so that they're not expecting you at a different time and worried about where you are. So we would like to have some signage installed. This, it has been added to the TNO budget, which you just adopted, but we would like a resolution to be able to go out and put signage at the 4 main roads, 4 main access points to the TNO.
Although the suggestion of also including some kind of emergency number, just something that
Yes.
can make a note of our QR code or whatever it can be
Yeah,
used.
so as we discussed earlier with the budget, we have paramedic service in the TNO. We would also indicate on the signage the phone numbers to call in case of emergency for the TNO, but not only the TNO, for our 911 dispatch as well. Because there's no cell phone service, sometimes if you're calling from a satellite phone, you can't simply dial 911 on a satellite phone. Sometimes you can, but if you have a Garmin brand cell phone, sometimes the 911 call ends up in Texas, or we've seen calls sometimes in Europe. So it's a lot longer to get service, and for those reasons, we would identify really an 819 emergency number that would go to our 911 dispatch in the city of Cullen.
Once the satellite service is in place by supposedly next year, will this make any kind of difference?
Cell phones,
Yeah,
it may make a difference. We're not at the stage where technology permits voice calls through satellite. Of course, many of you probably know we can text through satellite with different iPhones, different other satellites. Rogers Communications has a plan that you can buy a few dollars a month to text via satellite. But it does not allow you to contact 911 yet. As of next year in May, we have what we call a next generation 911 coming. The end date or implementation date is March 31st of 2027. And for that reason, after that point, the CRTC mandates that the 911 call centers will be allowed to respond to 911 text messages. In fact, we'll be able to send video and picture, but at this point, it's not in service yet, so we cannot use it.
okay. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Could I have someone please move this resolution? Moved by Councillor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And it carries. 11.2, notice of motion and draft bylaw recovery of costs for non-urgent rescues, TNO to Lac Milgo. Go ahead, Julian.
Yes, so in the same vein as the last point, we would like to adopt a bylaw, so that at this point, it's just a notice of motion with the draft bylaw to be able to recoup or charge for services in the TNO that will be for non-emergent calls. And the only reason we would like to do this is to raise awareness again. This would be indicated on our signage as well, we just spoke about, but there have been many calls to emergency services for rescues that are for non-emergent reasons. And what I mean by that is sometimes it's a car or a truck in the ditch, up in the TNO, or sometimes it's a mistaken 911 call from a cell phone, and for those reasons, it actually costs the TNO. We pay from the TNO budget for those outings, and for those reasons, we would like to recoup some of those costs, and this is how we would do it, by adopting a bylaw to recoup the costs if a user either calls a 911 service that's not an emergency, and the definition of emergency for this purpose is either a non-life-threatening or a serious injury person who's called.
Okay, thank you very much. Any comments or questions? Could I have someone take carriage of this notice of motion? Councillor Corey Spence. Okay, thank you very much. So we go on to miscellaneous, and I don't believe there was anything, in our second question period. These statements, but I have a resolution to close the TNO meeting. Moved by Councillor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed, and that's closed. Now we go on to our Council of Mayors public meeting of January 29th. So we'll begin with the opening and attendance. The attendance sheet has already circulated, but we have someone who would like to move the resolution to open the meeting. Mayor Colleen Laverdiere, thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number two, just a reminder that this meeting is being recorded and through YouTube will be available on our website tomorrow. Also, the declaration of language of your choice, English and French. And that I also will be listening carefully and making sure that we keep this meeting businesslike and productive. Number five, the reading and adoption of the agenda. Could I have a resolution to move the agenda? Moved by Mayor Kevin Murphy. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Are there any declarations or conflict of interest on this agenda? Seeing none. Number seven, we have a resolution to adopt the minutes of the regular sitting of December 17th, 2025. And by Mayor Ed Walsh, all those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number eight, we have a presentation. And we have Judith Spence representing, of course, Judith Spence, known for citizen of Pontiac, but tonight is making a special presentation on heart health. And we have 10 minutes. We need 10 minutes. I think you're beginning with a little radon update first. Perfect.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I will be covering off the heart health. For just a moment, you must have heard just recently in the CBC, they did an in-depth review of radon and the peril that millions of us are exposed to in Canada. Sure enough, that was coverage, very good coverage, and it was on the news, on all sorts of media. I'm dying here to keep it up. That's all right. Okay, thanks. All right, so long and short of it is actually Air Things from Norway contacted me yesterday to ask what we can do more in Canada. And one thing I told them to do, because we're looking for industry, is to actually make a plant here in the Pontiac to assemble some of their radon detectors. They have it in Tunisia. I think we can do as well as the amazing Tunisians.
And manufacturing here would be
great.
Yeah, wonderful.
Will I happen? Don't know. That was the VP of PR that actually contacted me. Okay, so just to let you know, it was very timely, the coverage. They never do coverage of radon outside of November. So that was kind of very opportune. To let you know, for the municipalities that may want to get some radon detectors for that they use rentals to keep in their libraries or loans to their to your own citizens. We've been donated from EcoSense and from Air Things. We've been donated a few radon detectors as fundraisers for ourselves. So they are available. I'm not leaving them here tonight, but if you do want any more for your municipality, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just playing.
Do the kind of like there, right here. But I'm taking them back, but I just want to let you know we have fancier ones, we have plain ones. And as I said, for us, it's a support and a fundraiser. Thank you so much. You can pop them back in. Thank you.
What is the
I
cost?
have, pardon me, go
What is the
ahead.
cost to purchase them?
They're ranging from $150 to about $225. Okay.
Can I just ask a question? Because maybe you know the answer to, but how many of the mayors at the table are already involved in their municipalities with radon detection or testing? Okay, so we've got Lady Haywood, Otter Lake, and Litchfield, Fort Collonge, Shawville, Clarendon, Portage, wonderful, and Campbell's Bay as well. Wonderful, that's great.
Yeah.
So-
Right on, guys.
Yeah,
Right on.
and may I just ask, you don't have to give names or anything like that, but have you heard of results? Have any of your residents given you any feedback? And how long are they keeping them, a month or they're keeping, no,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you can do it for starters.
From the municipality.
Are you doing them for 100 days? Okay. Have you had any feedback and are people bringing them back so other people can use them or how are you working this?
Well, the ones that we had were the ones that Judy had supplied, but I don't think those
They-
results are even back yet, right? Like that.
The digital ones,
Not the-
Health Canada says you can use it for a month and you'll have very serious proper results on a digital, electrical to digital. The other ones are outfit trackers, not the trackers have to be in, that's like from the 100 Homes Challenge.
Oh,
Those have
yeah.
to be in your homes for 91 days.
Okay.
So, but for a quickie, I mean, I knew inside of 2 days that my house was way over and I needed to dig it. But rule of thumb, Health Canada says 1 month and you're basically over the winter. So guys, if you do want to make them available to your residents, they have a shortening window of opportunity to get the best results.
Yeah, and the most important reason is that radon is actually more significant when it comes to deaths, even than cancer for lungs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we're gonna go to heart health.
And we've already put this in our schema
Yes.
for building construction. It's going to be part of the building code. So, you know, I think in a short period of time, and thank you for your leadership, Okay, go ahead, Mayor Bill.
We have a couple of the electronic ones at our library.
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't gotten any feedback, but I haven't asked, so
Okay.
now I will ask.
Okay, well, I thought it would be a good time just to get a little bit of feedback. And for the mayors who haven't had a chance to participate, you now know which mayors at the table have been involved and you can get some good information from them and also from Judy Spence, who's our expert on Reno. All right, next topic.
Okay, I are dying, I'm dying here with the heat. Where Red Canada is coming up, February 13th. And that
The day before Valentine's.
day before Valentine's, yeah. So on that day, we ask everybody to wear red. Wear red at work if you are a chef or have to own a, you know, an inn. So basically, what we're asking you all to do, whether you're wearing a hat, cap, changing her red already.
Yeah.
And the reason is, the whole reason for this whole new. Yeah. I did, and if you do have doggies and your fur babies, I didn't mind little walkie boots.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
Okay, perfect. The reason for red is it's heart month. February is heart month. And there's an issue with women. Women have not been well studied. We have not been well researched. It's all the research and most of the research was done on men and for men. There's a reason for it. Not that you guys really have more heart problems. There was a problem with thalidomide back in the day when we were having kids that would come with thalidomide problems, losing arms, legs, shortening and so forth. And that was because it was a medication that was being trialed on pregnant women. As a result of the thalidomide issue, they stopped testing any meds and a lot of treatments on women because we might have just been pregnant at that time. So that's one reason for a lack of research. But you know, it's been catching up. There's a whole department and there's a whole association across Canada, which COP, and I'm actually a certified advocate in that area. It's Canadian Women's Heart Health Alliance. So researchers, people with lived experience and so forth. That is what you have in your kit. All of you have the kit and basically we have, and generously, thank you very much. The Equity has given us a display ad in this week's paper. I really do appreciate that. So 80% of women who died prematurely didn't happen. They may not have known symptoms. They may not have known what are the predisposing factors. So this has never been brought up here in the Pontiac, but it's actually fairly new across Canada, getting the word out. But our MRC has got the worst cardiovascular health of all of the Outaouais. So, and 50% are women. The long and short of it is that the Outaouais has got the worst record in all of Quebec for cardiovascular. So that's what if you do the math, and so that's why we're actually bringing this to Canada. They have a wonderful association who gives us the materials and so forth. We are holding on the 13th of February, which is We Are Red Canada Day, and that's we are asking. In fact, we've asked the mayor to light up their offices, like bridges or whatever, in red. And people at their offices and at home, if they have any red lights, to put it on. It shows, yeah, I'm sorry. Did I good?
No, you know what?
Okay.
We're just getting ready when you finish. Yeah, we've got a resolution.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, yes.
Perfect.
So you have
What you had
your,
sent us.
thank you. We've got the flyers last time I saw I gave you each 5 of the posters. The press packages you have got the posters and brochures. So everything is there. It's all online. And there's now a QR code. People can watch from home. They don't have, we're holding two hall meetings. One is gonna be COSC in Mansfield, the other will be at the Shawville Community Lodge. This is actually something that we've been endorsed by CISO. And Nicole has been very, very supportive of all this. So information's in your packages. What I'm asking you folks to do is on the larger ones. Do you want to show them that one, Jane, if you don't mind?
This,
With the 5 posters, bigger posters that you have, I'm asking you guys if you wouldn't mind to make a copy and put a copy of the announcement of the meetings and hand them, we've got 5, to your office and to the church nearby or, store nearby, so that we're trying to get the word out, and it really would help us if you actually did that in your different next of the word. Okay, so.
and you want people to turn red lights on as well?
Yeah, we're asking, and proclamations, we're asking for a proclamation
Oh, yeah.
to recognize this.
Can I just ask, did everyone receive, I believe, it was sent or forwarded to you, a blank sort of, I saw one with Shawville. Has anyone had a chance, to present it at their plenary meeting or with their council? Yeah, just basically saying your municipality supports this, that's it.
Yeah.
Perfect, just to spread awareness, and, I do know that the Red Bridge in Mansfield, thanks to Mayor Armstrong, is going to be red, dazzling red, on February 13th, and I guess the 14th. And, anyone else got any plans to put some red lights up, or?
We're sending notices out to all the groups, the senior centers. Most people would think it's a senior woman that we're aiming for. But you'll see that issues show up much earlier and things that people didn't know, like if you've had PID, that's women's issues, if you've had problems with your pregnancy, and so forth. So this goes back to when you're, having kids age, 20, 30. So there's signs, and people who come to the webinar that will be held, we're having 2 meetings, I said, CLS in Mansfield, and Shawville, and also they can just watch it at home. It'll be recorded, and it'll be available afterwards, so one way or the other, it'll be accessible. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna let go of
I
that.
think that's about it.
Yeah.
In terms of time, and I'm going to read out the resolution.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, so whereas heart disease is the #1 killer of women worldwide and the leading cause of premature death for Canadian women, in fact unknown to many women and their healthcare providers. Whereas the Canadian Women's Heart Health Alliance is an organization of volunteer health professionals and patients working hard to improve women's heart health. Whereas Wear Red Canada is celebrated annually to raise awareness for all Canadians, but especially Canadian women, to be mindful, curious, and proactive in the management of their heart health and wellness. Whereas we want to see better prevention, diagnosis, and care, and fewer women dying prematurely from heart disease. Therefore, it was moved by, thank you, Mayor Joanne. Yes, Joanne Ralston, Mayor Joanne Ralston, so are there any comments or questions? So Joanne has moved it, all those in favor? Opposed? And we'll record it as unanimous. So it says,
To municipalities, or they have a copy of?
yes, there, I thought there was one slip, but I'm now gonna send, we will send this one out to all of you, yes.
Now, that's actually,
You're pretending that you didn't.
I was, thank you, I was, I guess being interrupted, but I didn't comment on that because I don't mind being interrupted, and so now I will continue the rest of the reading. Therefore, it was moved by Mayor Joanne Ralston, Regional Councillor, and resolved that the Board of Jane Toller do hereby proclaim February 13th as Wear Red Canada Day in the MRC Pontiac, and it was carried unanimously. Thank you very much, Judy.
Thank you.
I believe this will become, it is your hope, an annual event, and very proud that our MRC Pontiac is championing it for you and for everyone.
I would like to say, for everybody to know, that one of the reasons we've been able to accomplish as we have with the radon and with this heart health. And guys, we're in line, we're in queue for actually having an outreach clinic coming to the clinic to do cardiology tests on people coming through. So we're gonna have a pop-up clinic, and that's all because Jane has actually been very, very forward thinking and very supportive of women, of health, period, for the clinic, and I just want to recognize that.
Thank you.
We got as far as we did because of you.
Well, it's a lot of teamwork with all of us.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
I know.
You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. Like,
No, they can, you can go to work.
okay, so, number, or you can go home and watch us virtually. Number 10, we'll go on to, actually, I'm not sure if, Aiden is online, perhaps not. What he has to report is about a youth, forum that is going to be held in March. So we'll look to a bigger announcement of that in February. We'll go on then to my word report, number 11. What was that?
Oh, I was just asking if, and I wanted to ask, but anybody
Go ahead.
the package out of her last meeting that she distributed, there wasn't enough to go around, because I did not receive one.
You didn't? Okay.
No, and I think there was a few other mayors that didn't receive.
Did you just catch her? She's just gone out the door. She's got a box of brochures and things. Maybe she could bring them back. Thank you very much. Thanks for mentioning it. So probably, not in 18. All right, my warden's report. I had a meeting with a group of people who are very concerned about the future of seniors' healthcare in the Pontiac, and so we've been informally meeting. Tour of the abattoir, which many of you attended, and the Agri-Sever Industrial Kitchen in Shawville. Went and did the cap reading that I do Mondays. Christmas dinner for those who are alone. I met with Joe Kowalski from Wilderness Tours, and actually we have a follow-up meeting for the regional park, we'll call it regional park, which means we are open to other regional parks also being suggested, but the one in particular, tomorrow at 9:15 here at the MRC, is for the L'Île de Fontaine. It's the Calumet Island. I will be there, Mayor Jean-Louis Corriveau. Are there any other mayors? I know you will be here, DG Ken Massage, I'll be here. Do you remember who else was invited?
I'll be here.
Wonderful, yes, from Bryson. You will as well, wonderful, wonderful, that's great.
I will leave.
9:15 tomorrow morning. Great, then, at the shoot lunch, we had a tribute to Helen Routliff for her many years of, volunteer work with the shoot for lunch, and as I may have mentioned before, it is Helen Routliff that we have to thank for the shoot for lunch not being placed in a cement pipe. Because at one point, before I came to the Pontiac, some of you may remember, this was being proposed by, I guess, Brookfield or whoever was interested in the hydro capture. And the falls were actually going to go into a bit of a tunnel. And it was Helen Routliff and other residents, especially in Mansfield and Fort Plunge, who fought to make sure that the chute plunge was preserved as one of our biggest tourist attractions, when it was in Pontiac. And so she was given actually a beautiful piece of art that was done with wood of the chutes. Fundraising dinner was held in chapel for a gentleman who has 4th degree cancer. First stage, met with Marlene Scullion, Radio Canada interviews, CSI meeting, Vitalization Committee, which many of you are on, talking about the funds, Human Resources, presentation of, with the different wardens and mayoress of Gatineau. We are looking at a velo route, a bicycle route, cycling, you know about this, including, for example, paving the sides of the road in places where we can, because we've wanted to join Otter Lake, we've wanted maybe to go all the way up to Elena Haywood, different routes that don't presently exist. And so there are consultants, and they showed us a plan, and the Pontiac is very well represented in this. It's something to connect the whole region. Because cycling is a very important part of tourism. Attended a funeral, had a meeting with Mayor Spence and DG Kim Massage. Our preparation meeting for plenary, our plenary meeting. I participated in the TROCAO. It's a regional committee, and which is actually dealing with the strategic organizations. We have Autumn here in Campbell's Bay, so that was very interesting. And we're really looking at lodging. That's something that's needed. CPO meeting for our strategic planning, another CPO meeting on Monday. And we have a lunch afterwards with, it's from MEIE, Ministry of Innovation and Energy, and he's called the Chief of Innovation for Outaouais, and I've invited him to come and speak. And then last night I participated in an annual AGA for Friends of the Des Moines. They've apparently put in an application for the MRC grant. The Des Moines River has the MRC Pontiac on one side and the MRC Temiskaming on the other. And we had a DG Ken Massage and I went up to Gracefield. We had an important meeting of Connection Fifth-Pecana. I'm gonna give you a chance to get a little report on that, just some of the highlights, basically what we are coming up with as a plan to move forward.
Okay, so Connexion Fifth-Pecana, the MRC is part of the corporation. We're part owners as well as MRC La Vallée-Mégantic and the two school boards, so the Centre de Service Scolaire au Bois de l'Outaouais and the Western Quebec School Board. We manage 550 kilometers of fiber optics. And then how we made a revenue before was with the internet, with Picking-Off Internet, which now doesn't serve homes anymore. So we're not gaining anymore because of the number of buildings that we have in municipalities that use fiber and internet. You can get the same service by going with Cogeco or Explore, sorry. But whereas for the school boards, it's still very benefit to them, because they have, many dozens of buildings and uses for it as well. So we're looking now on how we could either sell our portions of the fibers or have a long-term rental to move forward in the future, because it's very, very expensive to fix whenever there's problems with the fiber. We've noticed some right now, we get emails several times a day when it's really cold, because that's when problems in some of the fiber comes out and it doesn't work. So we're looking at that now with through our lawyers and an accounting firm as well for financial aspects.
Yes.
And we also adopted a resolution when we were there this week for new, so there's Morton Taller and the Cassie are on the board. And there's the mayor from Gracefield and the mayor from St. Mary on the board from AMS.
And we are all in agreement that we need to resolve this issue as soon as possible, and we are looking at doing that. So just wanted to report. And one thing that I hadn't learned, this fiber was actually buried in the ground in 2005. So we were asking us, 25 years.
Lifespan is.
Yeah, and the lifespan is apparently 50 years, and so there are 4 strands, and ours is one of them, and as is Valley de la Gatineau, and then the 2 school boards. So initially, I wanted to just say, you might remember that when we had Bernard Watt here as our DG, he was working very hard on a plan to use Fifth-Pecana and really connect everyone. And we put a lot of effort into that. We were working hard on that with Valley de la Gatineau and the school boards. But we didn't know is that the premier had a plan to provide this. And in the end, we all are enjoying good service. Now we're waiting for the cell service, which has been promised for next year by this time with satellite. So we look forward to that. But thank you, Kim. Thank you, DG Massage, because for our newer mayors, they might not have understood the history and exactly what the Picking-Off was. So thank you. Now we are coming to the announcements of events or anything interesting that might be going on either in this past month or in the next month. And we will begin with Mayor from
Right. We have nothing on the board at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you report?
Litchfield has some, the Litchfield Leisure Committee has some draws online. And so if you go on Facebook to Litchfield Leisure, right now they have 4 draws on, and it's to raise funds towards their 180th anniversary, 180 years.
180 years, and that is 2026 or when?
No, 2026. So
Wonderful.
we're working towards something.
What kind of things are in the draws?
There's a $500 Amazon card. There's a $500 Cabela.
And you can just do this through the Facebook
All
site?
through Facebook, yeah.
Okay, excellent, thank you, Mira. And Mayor Spence,
Yes,
what is going on in Little Calumet?
We're getting some bins in Little Calumet. Yeah, they're different colored ones. We got blue ones
Yes.
delivered and now we're getting some brown ones. And
Brown ones, and if you wanted to say why,
Or we're gonna put garbage and compost in them.
you're going to start a composting program,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's going to be door-to-door pickup,
that's correct.
and where will it be going?
The compost?
Yes, right in the Pontiac, I
Yes, it
understand.
will, that's right, that will be, so
Wonderful.
hopefully
So
everybody get
your
have a little
municipality-
bit of our compost.
Your municipality has signed a contract.
Yeah.
Yes, this
Yeah.
isn't driven by the MRC, this is
Yeah.
by individual municipality.
Yeah,
So you'll have to give us good feedback on it. how
well,
it's all
they're,
going.
the blue, brown and black are a great contrast against the white snow, so they're really good.
Good,
So that's going on, Chapeau is having their annual general meeting, next week. Go onto their Facebook page if anybody's interested in attending. Just a reminder to any seniors that are listening throughout Pontiac, the MADA, survey is closing soon, so please, go ahead and fill that out. If
and
you don't,
can you tell us how to access it?
you can access it, by phoning here, the MRC, and they'll send you a phone number. Or you can go on the Facebook page, and if you don't, not good with Facebook, there is a phone number to use.
Oh,
and,
look at what, that's very helpful.
there we go,
Thank you very much.
there we go, so. There we go.
50 years
I don't
old
think
and
you have to put it on your-
Sorry, Kim?
50 years old and up this way.
Yeah.
55.
Yeah.
Very good, thank you very much.
In Bryson, we have a series of breakfasts that are coming up, which is quite nice. Via the Lions Pub, so they have that posted online also on Facebook. And also the Catholic Women's League also in February here is going to have their annual breakfast for Valentine's Day, so. We don't have any restaurants, but we have places to go now.
Well, that's great, no, that's wonderful,
And
yeah,
good fundraisers.
excellent, thank you very much. And Pro Mayor.
Well,
Madeline.
tomorrow evening at Fort Galanch, at Madame Jane's Place, there's the Spree de shut up. That's what's going on in Galanch, has, other than that, there's not much going on.
Okay, thank you very much. Mayor Bill McCleary, Stouffville.
Well, I don't know how many things you wanna hear.
Oh, we're all ears.
First Wednesday of the month is always the Egg Society bingo at the fairgrounds in the ladies hall. We have our winter carnival February 7th. Horse and sleigh, sliding, hot dogs, popcorn, cotton candy,
And can you say where it is? It's near the
same
arena?
place, same place. The
Okay.
ladies building will be open to get warmed up, and the sliding hill will be built right out in front of that. And hot dogs, all you want, come and eat enough to get sick if you want. The Pontiac Arena Fund is having a trivia night. It's in Queo, February 7th at 7 p.m. So if everybody thinks they're smart, put in a team.
Okay.
I'm not going. I need help. If I
Maybe
need to.
a team from this table.
Maybe. And the last weekend of our minor hockey tournament, this will be number 3. It's the little kids that are more fun to watch than anything, February 14th and 15th. The other age groups are finished.
Okay, thank you very
I'll
much.
stop at that.
It's a lot. Mayor Sandra Armstrong.
I invite everybody to check Patro's Facebook page. We have lots of activities. And I will invite Mr. Pro Mayor from Fort Collins to go to the camarades in Fort Calanche. Everything's supposed to be at the arena this year, if I'm not mistaken, the 27th and 28th of February. Did the hockey tournament and a car rally that I should enjoy this year because I'm not fixing it.
You're not planning it.
I'm not planning it. And then to carry out with Corey, there'll be a citizen consultation at the night of Columbus Hall in Fort Calanche on the 19th of February from 1:30 to 4:30, so everybody come.
And the subject of the citizen permata.
It's for MADA, yeah.
Wonderful, yeah. Thank you very much, and you are a member of MADA, you're on the committee,
Mhm.
and you'll be there.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Mayor Ed Walsh.
Well, it's cold and glaring. Nothing going on this one.
Okay. Mayor Kevin Murphy.
Same thing, not much in Fort House.
Okay. Mayor Terry Murdoch.
Turkey dinner Saturday night
Great, where?
at the RA place.
31st at the RA.
Get your tickets soon because they're selling out very fast.
Okay. Are you cooking a turkey?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I like a lot. I was gonna go now, no. I think they've already sold out even. Is it? On their website?
Mayor Valerie Jill and Drea.
What do you do?
Happy to announce that Ski Pontiac has found another home.
Very sad.
And this is at, the lands owned by Bristol Auto in Bristol. So, they've been very, helpful and they've been working like crazy to groom all new trails. And they opened them last week and they look amazing. Snowshoeing and, cross-country skiing, and, they're delighted in the partnership. As well, the BCA's outdoor rink has been opened in Norway Bay. So those are two events that are happening.
Excellent, thank you very much. Mayor Jean-Louis Corrigal.
Yeah, the 13th and the 14th of February, we start the official opening of activity for our 50th anniversary for the committee that was here, that's 50 years. So we're gonna start with the parade of light at 6 o'clock Friday. And after that, we're gonna have some dog, but see, that to give
Dog sledding. Ooh,
Yeah.
Wow.
and after that, we're gonna have a campfire. And at 9:45 firework. And we're gonna have some music like skate with the other ring with music. And on the Saturday, that starts at 8:30 in the morning to 6. We're gonna have some ski like around at the back with the bouncy castle, they call that.
Oh, bouncy castle.
Castle for the kids. And Valentine craft at 1 o'clock and.
Hope it doesn't explode in the cold.
Yeah, and after that, we're gonna have some ice game and open skate with music. So that's for the 50th annual anniversary. We start with that, and after that, we're gonna have some activity.
Going on. Just explain your 50th anniversary of what?
Committee was here.
Okay, you have a committee that was
Yeah,
here.
it's been with us 50 years, so
Wow.
let's just start with a carnival, and after that. Then
Very good.
go with the more activity in the summertime.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Mayor
you.
Doris Roget.
Right now, we don't have too much going on, we're just trying to keep warm.
Yes.
And enjoying the nice snowmobile
Power on.
trails that are passing through our municipality. We will have, the archives, the Sheen Archives are planning, March 18th. But I'll bring it as it gets closer,
What are you doing in the archives?
yeah. They'll have an Irish tea.
One Irish tea, you said,
Yeah.
okay, very
And
good.
March 8th.
Oh, yeah, first of
So
all,
I'll bring that up again a little later on. And let's hope we keep hydro.
yes.
Our fingers crossed.
Now that we're using less of it. There's, go ahead, Cindy.
So Aileen and Kate, I'll try and be quick.
Okay,
Aileen
take your
Haywood
time.
has their 150th anniversary this June.
Oh,
So we're kicking off with our winter carnival this coming Saturday. Breakfast at 9 a.m., face painting, magician for the kids, euchre tournament, canteen during the day. Activities at Henry Heaney Park is cross-country skiing by Ski Pontiac, skating and sliding, and horse and sleigh rides. The evening at Bethany Hall with music by Pontiac's own Midnight Ramblers. There will be a basket of cheer draw and a 50-50 draw. I have tickets here if anybody's interested. Many of you have supported. There will be a box social, same as last year. was announced, so that's great. We have a calendar of events on our Facebook page. Each month we have an event to celebrate 150th. We have sponsors from the Pontiac, including M&F Feeds, Thompson, Devanov and Portage, O'Malley's in Shawville, a lot from the La Vallée de la Gatineau, the Embroidery Shack, Tega Excavation, individuals, Mallory Tanner, Cooperative Natalie Lemoyne, Peck Wood Service, so we have quite a few. I know I've forgotten many and I'll pay the price for that, I apologize. But we're very, very fortunate to have
Put a lot of
great
work into
support
this.
in the community. We
Wonderful.
have put a lot of work and we will continue to work throughout the year. The next meeting, planning committee meeting is on February 7th, 10 a.m. at the municipal office. If anyone listening is interested in attending, the more the merrier. Same for Carnival. Come one, come all.
That's great.
Have some fun.
Thank you, Mayor Sumity, that's wonderful. And Mayor Donald Brown. Oh, yeah. I don't see you all often enough. They don't call you by your last names.
We have a couple items. First one, Chapel Lions Club, pancake breakfast, this 8 to 12, this Sunday, February 1st. Everybody's welcome.
Where is it? Pancake breakfast?
Chapel.
I drive anywhere for pancakes. Okay.
There's all Chapel. And, residents here, 50-50 draw tomorrow night. Hopefully, there'll be a lucky winner.
Yes. Thank you very much, Bob. That was very interesting, that round of announcements and events. Thank you, everybody, for your hard work. Now we have question period and statements. Anyone here? No? Okay.
Jen, can I just make one more comment?
Of course.
I don't know if you all know, but there's these tickets, La Dame du Coeur. If you put you choose a number for the, what you want the money to go towards. Number 1009 would be for the Shawville Hospital. So if anybody wants to participate in that,
and how do we do this again?
You can go on internet and just go Fondation.
Fondation du Cœur, je pense. J'ai pas mon téléphone.
This would chip
but I think it's Fondation Santé Outaouais.
Oh, Santé Outaouais.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
And it's 1009, it's for the Shawville Hospital.
Wonderful. Okay, excellent. Thank you for mentioning that. Very important. We'll go on to the Déclaration de divulgation des intérêts pécuniaires, FEFET, a statement of disclosure of pecuniary interest. Warning, this is something I have to do every year. And this is my copy. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yep. Conformément aux dispositions de la loi sur l'élection et les référendums dans les municipalités, je procède au dépôt de ma déclaration de divulgation des intérêts pécuniaires. Elle sera transmise au MAMAS. In accordance with the provisions of the Act respecting elections and referendums in municipalities, I'm tabling my statement of disclosure of pecuniary interests. It will be transmitted to the MAMAS. And it was exactly the same as last year with the addition of a property in Campus Bay. Okay, thank you very much. And do I need a resolution? No. Information on it. Very good. Yeah, okay, thank you. And so now we'll go on to general administration. DG Kim Lesage, 15.1, application for amendment to the certification record, section 39 of the Labor Code resolution.
C'est une résolution pour procéder à une demande de modification des dossiers d'accréditation au tribunal administratif du travail. So the MRC wishes to obtain authorization to proceed with the request of an amendment to our accreditation file before the Administrative Labor Tribunal. So the resolution says that whereas we're subject to a union certification pursuant to the Labor Code, whereas section 39 of the Labor Code allows for the amendment of such changes have occurred within the organization, notably with respect to the administrative structure. and description of certain duties, so it is necessary to update the certification record, so it reflects the current reality of the organization. So we would be adopting a resolution to authorize the filing of the amendment in accordance with section 39 of the labor code, and for myself to be authorized to sign for and on behalf of the MRC, the application and any documents that are required for this process. Any questions?
Are there any questions?
I can explain a little.
I think you should explain
Just
a little
that
bit.
I don't know when this was in place, the accreditation, it must have been, many moons ago, when the union was first formed, this is with the Syndicat de la Fonction Publique et Parapublique du Québec. And it's in French, but the description of the negotiation unit is tout salarié, all salaries, I'm just translating as I go here, that are employed at the municipality at the MRC, would be in this union, but what's excluded would be the adjoint à la direction générale, the adjoint to the council of mayors, the chef de la foresterie, and the chef de l'aménagement. So those are positions that don't really even exist anymore, and the management staff is broader now. So we've asked if we can change that description, and they said, yes, we have. We've already sent it to them in advance to know if we would have modified ahead of sending it. So now the new description would be all salaries to the sense of the Code du Travail, which are employed by the MRC. And then the exclusions are management staff, direction, representations for making decisions for the employer. So the direction générale, managers of services, so like the director of territory, for example, director of evaluation, responsible for HR, finances, juridique, so legal files, and administrative, and also the administrative assistant to the director and the strategic communications coordinator. So those are the management staff that would be excluded from the negotiations from the union.
Okay, makes sense to everyone? Yes? Okay, great, thank you very much. DG Massage, and so we need a resolution to approve this, moved by Mayor Joanne
Ralston from Bryson.
The problem is, I can't see you because you're kind of hidden behind Mayor's fence. And there's another name I keep wanting to call you, which I'll tell you afterwards. No, it's another surname that everyone knows, and I just don't, I don't plan to reveal it until I tell you privately. Mayor Ralston, Mayor Ralston, Mayor Ralston, okay, good, moved by Mayor Ralston, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Okay, 15.2, MRC committees, committee composition and membership. Okay, Massage.
So since we have new mayors around the table for a few months, we've been adopting new members to our different committees. So we have 3 committees this month to nominate people to end the mandates.
Okay, so we're beginning with the Flood Prevention Task Force. And would you like to read out the names?
And
yes, let's have Julian, please. And Julian's also going to announce when our meeting is.
Yes,
Remember?
yes, I can go with the date first.
Okay, perfect.
So the flood prevention task force is planned for 3:30 PM on February 10th. It's a Tuesday afternoon. That will be our first meeting of this current term and this year. And members of the committee are regional councillors, Roger LaFont, Sandra Armstrong, Donald Gagnon, Joanne Ralston, Pierre Sear, Edward Walsh, Jordan Evans, Valerie Toolin Graham, Kevin Murphy, and Mr. Jean-Louis Cordo.
Great.
What's when? February?
February 10th.
At 3:30.
You'll come out.
Because of your driving?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Nearly. We used to meet at 4:30 in the afternoon. And Julian was thinking that was kind of late maybe for some people, but does 4:30 make a difference for you?
I don't get home till after 4:30.
Right, so even virtual, what would be a good time for you, 5 o'clock?
Between 10 and 2 or any
10
time
and
after
2.
5.
Okay, all right. I guess the majority, yeah, we will talk about this. But I just wanted to say the reason we're starting now is because there's been concern expressed, especially Mayor Armstrong is hearing comments. The amount of snow that we've got and the fact that we've had some thaws and there's been quite a bit of water already accumulating. And also the report about the condition of dams, which we did get a response from public security. And I've now had another response from Hydro Quebec. We think now's the time to start meeting. So thank you very much. That's great. Yes, brief the purpose of it, why it was founded, yeah.
So in the context, we have that the purpose is to allow concerted action by various key players working together to prevent spring flooding. It's not a standing committee, but a task force that meets on an ad hoc basis as needed. As provided in the resolution that we're establishing a group, various individuals with subject matter expertise may be invited to participate.
Okay, great. Any comments or questions? Okay, well, we've got a great group of people, quite a few wonderful representing the areas along the river. Moved by, who would like to move this? Pro-Mayor Gaetan Bradley, all those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 15.2.2, the Regional Park Committee Resolution, DG Kim Massage.
So at the plenary, I guess it was discussed about the La Fontaine Committee. However, because we are an MRC, and we do have a regional park, which is the PPJ, there's other potential sites that we could have regional parks, so we decided to maybe make it a more broad group. So I will read the resolution. I wrote, considering that pursuant to sections 112 to 121 of the Municipal Powers Act, the Pontiac, the MRC may by bylaw determine the location of a regional park, whether or not it owns the land on which the park is located. Considering that a regional park is an area created as part of a regional initiative focused on recreational and tourism development, enhancement and protection of natural spaces. Considering that on October 28th, 96, the Pontiac adopted bylaw 36/96 to determine the location of the CONSEIL Regional Park. Considering the importance and recreational and tourism potential of certain other sites in the region, including the Ile La Fontaine site, it is proposed by Regional Council and resolved to establish the Regional Park Committee with the following mandate. The mandate of this committee includes the overall management of the CONSEIL, assessing the feasibility, as well as assessing the feasibility of a regional park project, creating strategic strategy for the development of a new regional park, if the results of the feasibility assessment are positive, and collaborating with stakeholders and community leaders. And then it was proposed to appoint regional councillors, Mayor Donald Gagnon, Mayor Joanne Ralston, and Mayor Jean-Louis Corriveau as members. And it would also be resolved in accordance with section 3 of the MRC's committee policy that Warden Toller and for Warden Raymond Pilon are ex officio members of the committee as well.
Great, thank you very much. And I'll just add that we're not voting on this particular point now, but I think that we should state that we have a vast territory and there could be interest in parks in other parts of the Pontiac. And of course, at that time, we would expand the membership to whoever would be interested or might be in there at that particular area. Yeah, but right now, this is timely because we're having a meeting tomorrow to hear a presentation about La Fontaine. Okay, so who would like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Jean-Louis Corriveau. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 15.2.3, Public Safety Committee, CSP Committee, a change in membership, resolution, Kim Massage. Do you need to say anything? Would you like to say something? No?
Just change in membership, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
La résolution pour changer On pourrait ajouter des noms au comité CSP. So a change in the CSP committee members. So by resolution, in French here, propose and resolve that memberships of CSP committees be amended. That we would replace Bill McCleary with Mrs. Mayor Sydney Sweet.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
So, and it was also resolved that, it would be also resolved, sorry, to change, that change be communicated to the SQ.
Okay, thank you. So moved by Mayor Bill McCleary. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. Finances, 16.1, financial report, a resolution, Andrea LaFleur. Just like an old pen now.
Oh, yeah, just like. So we need a resolution, to authorize the list of accounts payable in the amount of $148,909.73. And a list of payments in the amount of $668,664. We also need a resolution to authorize the expenses for the travel, expenses for the council. For the month of November and December combined, $3,424.40. Just a few notes, in the big list of payments of $664,000. You'll see there's some, that are just say voladure because they remain confidential as to, who these amounts are being issued to. There is a large one there of $75,906.50. It came from the voladure, it was for the roof of the Maison Claire. Was 65,000 voladure expansion of the chute de Collonges. There was a large amount of $52,823 for the Service EXP, that was for the PPG inspection of the bridges. The $9,032.53 to Commune Agir, that was for the revision of the MAP policy. BM Custom Metal, that was the gates of the PPJ trail. Visage Regional, $19,402, that was having to do with van life. Expertise Immobilière, SENC, that has to do with Marco and Mario for inspections, $12,616. And then there's a very large amount there of $192,447 to the FQM. That's a combination of all types of different invoices having to do with the evaluation department. You'll see in your état de résultat, the revenues and the expenses, we're showing $9,058,366 in revenues. And we're showing $9,310,865 in expenses, but there's a lot of year-end entries that are not made yet, and there's receivables that are not considered, so you can't really go by these numbers. We are having an initial meeting with Simon, the auditor, on February 16th. And we will be looking at a lot of these numbers and making some year-end entries that'll make this.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Okay. Thank you very much, Dan. And so we need a resolution. Who would like to move it? Moved by Mayor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 16.2, the remuneration of the warden and of members of council 2026 for adoption. So I'm going to take a moment to say that in the 8 years that I had been the warden, was the first elected warden, and the salary that was being proposed, I was shown what it would increase to after 4 years. And I personally felt that it was more money than I thought I should accept, and so I refused. And I began a trend of accepting only cost of living each year for 8 years. That has left me in this position as the lowest paid elected warden in Quebec. And many people in my travels will say to me, someday I'd like to be the warden, but I need to support a family, and I certainly can't do it on the amount of money that you're making. So I gave it some careful thought, and I realized that actually the research was done, I had nothing to do with it. It was done by, I guess, Annie Vaillancourt, our previous finance person, as well as our director, Kim Lesage. And they, what they did is they looked at what the elected warden is different than a warden who's also a mayor around the table, and it's decided, you know, each year by the mayors who the warden will be. So they came back and and reported to me that based on what I was currently earning, which I think at that point was, starting, what did I used to earn, 56,000, I think? Yes, well, the warden in Valley de Gatineau earns 135,000, and the warden in Des Collines earns 121,000. So you see, our salary range was really not in the ballpark. Well, yes, we are, an MRC with a lower budget and a smaller population, but on that note, our population has increased by over 1,000 people since 2017, and the new census, which I think will take place in 2026, should show that. So we're growing, and our budget is now considered an $11 million budget, most because of some provincial grants. But anyways, I thought about the future, and I said to myself that perhaps what was being proposed was a 26% increase, which takes my salary to, I think, 66,000, and 20,000 added by the province, 86,000. And so to put that in perspective, my paycheck, I now receive $400 more every 2 weeks. So I appreciate that very much, but I think it's also progressive, and I apologize for not having taken more each year. It's just what I felt I needed to do personally. So on that note, so tonight we are going to be voting on approval of this. And then we are also looking at the remuneration of members of council. At this point, what's proposed is just cost of living increases for our mayors. But I will say that discussion has been started and research to see again how much lower our mayors at this table are earning pay versus the other regions. Even in particular, we're looking at MRCs with the same population. And so we're going to, I'm encouraging discussion on this. It would probably be a modest increase. Maybe it's 26% like I have just received, but I think that one thing that we don't want to do is discourage people from coming forward. You know, it's not an easy job. And based on some of the social media criticism that some of us experienced in the last couple of years, many people look at this job and say, who needs that? But everyone around this table feels a calling to make the Pontiac a better place and to serve our community. And we're not here for how much money we're being paid, but fair is fair. And so I personally know that, I believe Mr. Corey Spence, HR chair, are we looking at this sort of through the HR committee? Actually the information is being shared with all the mayors. I got the numbers and I shared it with all the mayors. So we'll have further discussion about this, and we'll certainly keep the public well aware. At this point, we're just approving the cost of living. So it's all rolled into one resolution. Yes, and I wanted to give credit to you, Mayor Murdoch. You're the one that raised the fact that, you know, you were here 8 years ago and you're back again now. And I'm sure the increase for the mayor's salary has been minimal.
Yes, it is.
And would you like to say something about it?
What I do with my municipality is, I take 3 times the salary of a councillor. Now, if we did this at this council and made that policy, I think that would work out just fine. Whatever your salary is, 1/3 of that. So it's a check and balance thing, you know, and it's something that you can count on forever.
Well, I know there was also some thought about, depending on how many committees you're coming to, perhaps being paid for that, but I know when you come to committees, you are reimbursed for your kilometers. That's one incentive, but I personally think that when I see what other similar MRCs are paying their mayors, it's about 60% more than what you're making. And so, I think that it's well worth it. Just trying to have like an open discussion, nothing decided tonight, but we have started the research. And I think, I believe that our public would be very happy to see you. I hear from many members of the public how hard they believe all of you are working. Mayor Corey Spence.
Yeah, I'd just like to add to Mr. Murdoch's statement there that you know, it's something that surely needs to be looked at for sure. And probably won't be in the HR committee, but maybe something in the budget committee, which will be starting up pretty soon.
Yes, thank you. And our budget committee is going to something else that's new. It's going to be meeting every Mayor Spence is our chair, every 2 months. And so the benefit of this is we're going to be able to have reports on where we are in our budget, and we can make in-year adjustments if we need to. And this is something that could be corrected rather than waiting another year. So thank you very much. So it will come to the budget committee. That's your point?
Yep.
And I got it. Thank you. And thanks again, Mayor Murdoch, for having the courage to raise this and talk about it, because you know, everyone deserves to be compensated for the hard work that they're doing. Thank you. Anything else you wanted to say?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
I would say one thing, you know, people sort of, they get to a council or like this mayor's council. They're afraid to get a raise, take a raise, because they're afraid what the public will think of them. Well, the public think they're dummies if they don't, you know?
It's one way of looking at it, but I think you make a good point. I think when we're spending taxpayers' dollars, it's
I think we're doing a good job of it. And I think we should be paid accordingly.
I don't think we waste it. Yes, that's right. Good. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I didn't hear that right. Can you say that
I
again?
think we should applaud that.
We're doing a good job.
Doing a great job.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
You are.
Yes, okay, so before we vote, our Director General is going to speak. Go ahead.
So because this is a bylaw for the remuneration of the warden and members of council, it was presented and filed in November as a draft bylaw. There was a minor change that was brought to sections 2.1.1 and 2.1.2. Very simple change. It was written that it was 10 equal installments. However, it's 11 equal installments, so this doesn't have an impact on the subject of and the meaning of it, but it's still something I will be reading the change in French and in English. Il y a eu un changement par rapport au projet de règlement qui a été soumis, déposé et présenté en novembre dernier. Alors, je vais juste lire la révision. C'est pas 10 versements égaux pour le paiement, ni 11 versements égaux. Alors, pour le règlement 335-2026, section article 2.1.1, rémunération pour présence aux réunions mensuelles du comité payé. 67% de la rémunération établie à l'article 2.1, c'est-à-dire un montant maximal de 3105,76 versé à raison de 282,34 de chaque réunion où le membre du conseil des maires est présent, pour un maximum de 11 versements égaux. Rémunération, article 2.1.2, pour présence aux séances ordinaires mensuelles du conseil des maires. 33% de rémunération établie à l'article 2.1, c'est-à-dire un montant maximal de 1529,71 versé à raison de, je vois qu'il y a deux Travis, 139,6 pour chaque séance où le membre du conseil des maires est présent, pour un maximum de 11 versements égaux. So the changes for that was posted in all the municipalities for bylaw, draft bylaw 305/2026 is at article 2.1.1. So the remuneration for attendance at monthly meetings of the plenary committee, 67% of the remuneration set out in section 2.1, maximum amount of 3,105.76, paid in 11 equal installments of 282.34 for each meeting where the member of the Council of Mayors is present, for a maximum of 11 equal installments. Finally, 2.1.2, remuneration for attendance at regular monthly sittings of the Council of Mayors. 33% of the remuneration set out in section 2.1 i.e. a maximum amount of $1,529.71, paid in 11 equal installments of $139.06 for each sitting where the member of the Council of Mayors is present for a maximum of 11 equal installments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any comments or questions?
I just have a question.
Go ahead.
Regarding,
You're welcome.
so we're voting to approve this and then you're talking about reviewing it, like does it have to be reopened again or how's that gonna work out?
We don't know, but for tonight, we are simply going to vote on what was proposed originally in November. And as Mayor Spence has said, because there has been the suggestion that we make sure that we are being competitive and that we are paying properly. We're doing some research, which is coming back to the budget committee, and our next budget committee is in February. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to add to that, Warden Toller, so our budget has been passed already. So my feeling is this has already been done and approved. So this will be working towards something that will more than likely take into effect next year.
Yeah. I just wanted to verify that.
Yeah, good point. And I think it's great that we're just at least speaking about it. Great, thank you very much. And thanks for that correction, Mayor Spence. So are we ready to vote? Who would like to move this resolution? Mayor Terry Murdoch. All those in favor? Opposed? And I believe it's unanimous. Thank you. 17, management of territory. 17.1, environment. Jason Durant. Which is going to be
Beautiful Terry.
Beautiful Terry.
I'm not personally.
Pardon me? So you're going to be getting a report of Jennifer Quill is going to speak about the environment committee. Would you like to go ahead? Here's the chair.
Right, so the Environment Committee met on January 8th. We have updates from staff. First of all, they are working in collaboration with MRC Cullen and Papineau on a regional plan for wetlands and water environments. Their objective is to come up with a strategic plan to integrate the conservation of wetlands into land use planning, so in the broader schema that is being developed, and to promote, of course, sustainable development. And this will allow municipalities to restrict activities in wetlands, and the MRC is currently working on maps for the municipalities to use. An action plan has been sent to the ministry this past November. An annual report is due in March, so we'll be seeing that at this table. And we will need to have an internal control bylaw in place until the plan is actually integrated into the schema. The wetland mapping project and TPI project is being done through funding that Kitigan-Zibi has received for each MRC to do its mapping of the wetlands. And with the surplus, a characterization of our TPI is planned. Watercourse management workshop for DGs was held in November 25. The MRC, of course, has jurisdiction over watercourse management, but obstructions to waterways are actually regulated by each municipality. A new bylaw will come in the spring, and we'll be signing a new agreement with the MRC to that effect. We also discussed how to reduce road salt, its use, and how, the detrimental effect that it can have on our waterways, the runoff and whatnot. Jack Hope shared an information pamphlet with tips to all the DGs following that meeting. Carrie Richardson presented on her files as well, an update on Salmonids, which is the firm that is planning to set up an indoor salmon farm on the site of the mill in Litchfield, the old mill. So this involves indoor pools where salmon can be grown. The public consultations were done, and the results are on the Ministry of Environment's website, which anyone can look up and read if they're interested. Carrie also reported on the work that she's been doing on the climate plan. So this is the MRC and the municipalities kind of joint effort to do an inventory of how to reduce, on how to reduce the production of greenhouse gases. So this is again a large project working in collaboration with two other MRCs, Cullen and Papineau. The study and the risk analysis report an action plan will be ready by March as well. We also got an update on waste management from Nina, who's the lead on that file. So she's been working on new procedures with EEQ. There will be change going forward in 2026. The MRC will be billed directly for recycling costs for each municipality. And the MRC will, of course, receive any reimbursements. So she's just working out how each municipality will report their recycling data to the MRC. She's also working to have EEQ reimburse the salaries of transfer station attendants for those municipalities that only have transfer stations and not door to door. She's been working to come up with a bylaw, which again will come to this table to discuss the intricate kind of details about how door to door pickup will be managed. So in terms of, time of the citizens can put out their recycling for pickup, et cetera. So working out all those details for bylaw. She updated us on the door-to-door collection in Chichester and Shinborough and Northern Ireland and Walton. She's working to expand the collection of aerosols as well. Currently, we can only they only take paint and oil aerosols. She's working on the PGMR annual report, which is the major report and done every year to report on the state of waste management in the MRC. And the committee recommended to Council of Mayors that Mayor Pierre Zier, Fort Collonges, be appointed to represent the MRC at the Tres on Tres Co-op. So, and that is the report for January.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Okay, thank you for a very complete report. So just, we don't live on it, it's here for information. 17.2, application by MRC Pontiac to become a user member of the recently cooperative resolution. Are you speaking on this? Or
I will.
Okay, come over closer to the table so you can see.
So following Jennifer's report, Mayor Quayle's report, I guess I should be more formal. I'm gonna fill in some of the resolutions that we discussed around the environment committee table. So the first one is to name a new representative. We're already actually members of the co-op Trisanti. That's where all of our recycling in the Pontiac goes. So that's just to name a new member, and it was decided at the environment committee to name Mayor Sear as representative. So hopefully he will vote.
Mayor Sear? Yeah. Oh, great. Was he present?
He was present.
Okay,
Yeah, and he said he'll be willing to do it.
Very good. So we will move that resolution. Who would like to take carriage of it? Mayor Tulin Graham, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. Then we'll go on to appointment of a water course manager for the territory of the MRC Pontiac.
So as the sponsor just mentioned, we have a water course policy, and this is just to update the person who's responsible for managing at the MRC level. So Jacques Demers is our environment coordinator that is going to manage the water course policy that we have with each of the municipalities going forward. So I can just read the end of the resolution for you here. It just says it's proposed and resolved to appoint Mr. Jacques Demers as designated person at the MRC level to act under the authority of the MRC's Director General to plan, organize, direct, and control the management of all water courses under the jurisdiction of the MRC.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Any comments or questions? So can we have a resolution? Who would like to carry it? Moved by Mayor Jennifer Quayle. All those in favor? Opposed? And it carries. And 17.4, an addendum contract number MRC A 2025 or 20250707. Lot 1 of the call for tenders, collection and transport of recyclable materials. Harry Richardson.
Yeah, so the next two resolutions are actually very similar, as mentioned in your follow report. In our tender documents for the recycling, collection and transportation, there was a clause that mentioned that the contractors would be billing each of the local municipalities. And so we just need to make that, modify that one clause to ensure that the MRC is billed, not the local municipalities, and that we will be paying for the recycling. As per our partnership agreement with PEQ, we get the reimbursement and then we can redistribute to the local municipalities. So I can just read a part of the clause. The clause is going to be changed. So the contract is going to be amended by replacing clause 3.5 with the following. Payment shall be made to the beneficiary instead of the municipality upon presentation of monthly invoices. Federal and provincial sales taxes must be shown separately from the total invoice amount, and the successful bidder must clearly indicate the tax numbers on its invoices. So this first resolution is for lot 1, which was for collection and transportation. So I'll let you continue.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions at this point? You'd like to move this? Mayor, moved by Mayor Doris Roche. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 17.5. This will be concerning lots 2 and 3.
Yes, correct. So the second part is for the bin rentals. So we have a second contractor that wanted to pay for this portion of the contract. So it's the same resolution, just replacing the same clause in the original bid that is part of the contract.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? Moved by Mary Ann Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you very much, Carrie.
Thank you.
Keep up your great work. Number 18, economic development. 18.1.1, a donation request, Friends of Pontiac, and it's DGA Terry LaFleur.
Good evening.
Take it away.
Thank you. Gordon Powell. Jason's not here to pet me up, so he asked me to do it a little bit to get talking here. Yes, we got a request from these entities, Pontiac, so basically it was 2 requests that were very similar, which got put into 1 request. So it is for the birthday in a bag and a new baby bundle and a $200 donation from that Doaka Mata Hero Solution, please.
Okay, comments or questions? Okay, who'd like to move this? Moved by Mayor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 18.1.2, financial assistance for a women's hockey team.
Yes.
Please explain and.
Please explain. So a request for aide financière à la création de l'équipe de hockey féminine. So basically, we supported a hockey team, women's hockey team last season. I believe it was in Chicago, and the dollars that were donated out of sports and leisure were for the coaching. And then so we got a request this year from Element for a women's hockey team up there for say $2,000, which would go towards coaching as well.
Have we been doing this for a long time?
It started last year.
Seems like, I don't know. What about all the men's hockey teams, and where do you stop with this, or where do you start? Are you starting, or are you trying to get out of this? Because if you're getting into it, you're gonna get into it heavy.
As far as I understand it, we just started with the body.
Just to confirm, is it for a team or a league?
It's for a team.
Just a team?
We're trying to support and encourage this.
Not just for the team.
Yes.
It's for the coaches.
What do the men coach do?
Well, there's always been men's hockey.
We don't get any requests from the men's hockey.
They
have a certain budget to.
Yeah, they are free to ask. So Mayor Murdoch, there's only a certain amount of money that can be allocated. And when it's gone, it's gone.
Where are we taking this out of the budget?
This is coming out of the sports and leisure budget.
And how much money, what's in there?
In total?
Yeah.
Approximately. Usually in a year, there's about 20 $8,000 if I'm not mistaken.
So many sport organizations apply.
Yes. And it's not just sports organizations for hockey, it's other
Leisure activity.
leisure activities, it could be municipalities that ask for applies for baseball or skiing or pickleball, and stuff like that. So it's a whole gamut of things, and this was. When it was brought to you, it was just last year, just to support the women's league.
So this is for the coaching of the women's league.
Correct. Yeah.
League coaching?
I think you're raising an interesting point, and perhaps what we could ask for from your team would be at a future meeting, a recap on the benefits of this money being, you know, just sort of the benefits, just the difference that it is making, because I know in some cases, pickleball, for example, it's inexpensive, it can be used in local schools. It's actually providing the first bit of athletic activity. People used to say to me, all I can do is walk, that's the only thing I can do around Fort Collins. They'd say, all I can do is walk, you know, and walking's good exercise, but what this is doing is these small amounts of money are providing an impetus to help develop and encourage more activity and more socialization, especially in many cases with pickleball seniors who are living alone. And really, I think it's a small amount of money going to a great benefit. Go ahead.
Oh, my only comment, we have a sports and leisure policy, and I guess
So
this
that
kind of
qualifies.
fits into the policy. But
Yeah.
anyway, information.
As long as, yeah, information back. Go
But I
ahead.
think if we ask for information from them, we ask for information from each.
That's what I mean. I mean, the
person.
overall, the overall fund, how was it allocated?
And
And what were the benefits? Let's hear what the benefits
Applies
were.
to one applies to all.
Right,
So.
yeah, good point.
If
But
it falls
I meant all-
within the policy,
in the policy,
that's when
still
it gets
gets
back
back
to the table, recommended body.
But if we ask for the benefits of one donation, then we need to ask benefits of all. Right?
Yeah.
Marilyn,
Want to be
Is
fair.
this name brand new, started last year?
That's part of it.
Brand.
I think this is the second women's league, isn't it? We were being told about it earlier. Yeah, great trend, great to see. Okay, good. Thank you very much. So we need a resolution to support the women's hockey team. Moved by Mayor Corey Spence, the budget king. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Okay, thank you. 18.2. The membership Quebec Television and Film Office, BCTQ, a resolution, Terry Leclerc.
Yeah, so this is to renew our membership for the Bureau de Télévision de Cinéma du Québec, so BTCQ. For membership dues of $780, which is paid for through the FRQ. Thank you.
And how does this benefit us?
So this is basically Quebec is one of the members of for television shows and whatnot. So this is our membership fee to be able to support with videos and photographs of different sites within the month. So just as an example, there was a documentary that was done in October of last year of a company from Germany came over and did a whole prospectus on the mill closing and whatnot. They interviewed a whole bunch of different people that worked there. I think Bill, if I'm not mistaken, you were part of it. And they found us this BCTQ, pardon me? They bought your lunch. There you go. So, and this is one of our focuses.
Could this also encourage more films being produced in the Pontiac?
That's the idea.
Okay, good. So that's a great industry to be able to tap into. Thank you very much. Who would like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 18.3, Bank of Hours, Graphic Design Services, Economic Development. Please explain. Thank you.
Yeah, donc de service de conception graphique des économiques basically. we are looking for a resolution to approve, the project for the creation of a bank of 100 graphic design service hours for the year 2026. Basically at a rate of $45 an hour to a maximum of $2,500. It's, paid for through the FR2 budget, $3,600 and $900 through shares. So these hours basically go to development, in regards to any kind of graphics that we need to get. So it's marketing for tourism, for, you name it, we do it. And then if we don't use the whole bank of hours, it gets carried over to next year as
For
well.
next year, nothing wasted?
Nope.
Okay. Any comments or questions?
What's the advantage of taking banking some hours now?
We're just buying a bank at a reduced rate.
They get a reduced rate?
Yeah, we're paying $45, I believe, for regular rates.
Right, we'd like to move this resolution, moved by Mayor Terry Murdoch. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 18.4, financial commitment funding request for the Heritage Agreement Program.
Sorry.
What's funding? We're going to tell us?
I will.
Okay.
As soon as we're done with this one.
Okay.
So, engagement financier demande de financement programme d'entente patrimoine, so the PEP. So, this is a little more complicated. Okay, I'll read this out a little bit here. We have received confirmation that the amounts that we requested have been set aside for us to now make our formal request for this program, the PEP program, okay? It requires a resolution confirming the MRC's 40% contribution to this program. So the amount confirmed for the investment, total amount confirmed for the investment into the Pontiac is $932,167 over the next 3 years. So this PEP program, which is part of the heritage program, so the housing heritage list, we have to do pays portions of salaries for cultural commissaire downstairs. It pays for training for her, for staff, for DGs, for mayors in regards to how do we service this heritage patrimoine law, basically. So the NCC's contribution, so the ministry's contribution is $559,300. The MRC requires confirmation of an investment of $372,867. So basically $124,289 annually. Okay, so the inflation program includes a component for private properties, and the MRC must at that point as well establish and commit to adopting the draft bylaw establishing the terms and conditions of the municipal program applicable to these programs.
So you mentioned that some of this money goes towards salaries, but not all of this money. Some of the money will be benefiting people with heritage properties, or can you explain?
No, it's benefiting, sorry.
For the inventory?
Yeah, goes for the.
And you're saying it's,
inventory.
this is coming from the provincial government because it's mandatory?
Correct.
That this be done?
Covers 50% of our employees' salary. It covers the building inventory, training, as I said, for the municipal inspectors or DGs, info sessions, public consultations, and it's a whole bunch. Goes towards our heritage list as well.
Any comments or questions?
Have we got a list of our heritage buildings?
We have seen this buildings, we have an established.
I think it can be added to.
Yes, we have an established list that we created last year, and we're still working on. We've got another 3 years to work on this.
So all the churches are on heritage buildings?
I don't know, if all the churches are considered heritage buildings. I think Water Lake is not a heritage building if we're down, correct? So, what the inventory list has been shared with your DG system. Very triage.
Perhaps at our next plenary meeting, we could have a look at what properties for each municipality are on the list.
Yeah.
And we could know, you know your municipalities better than anyone, and you might notice some buildings that haven't been included.
So there's over 3,800 buildings on that list currently in Pontiac. Every one of you every one of your DGs has this list, so I suggest you speak with the DG to get a copy of it.
But
And
if
there
we
is a
could
request
have,
to triage.
if we could have that at the plenary meeting, it's plenary, I think it'd be interesting just to be able to take a look.
I can get it for you, sure.
Okay, I know it's a lot of properties, but just so that each member could have a look to see what's listed. We don't need it now.
No.
We're ready now. Oh, thank you, thanks very much for that, appreciate it. All right, who would like to move, so what exactly are we voting for?
So basically.
We made a
we're not-
request and it was approved.
We made a pre-request. So now they wanna know that they're saying, yes, we'll find, they'll put in $559,000. They wanna know that we're committed as well for the 372
And where does the 372 come from?
Portions of this will come from shares, portions come from other funding sources and
Grants? All right.
Do we have a breakdown of what will come from grants, what will come from shares, what will come from?
Specifically, no, at the moment. We haven't, I can probably pull it up or send it to you, but we have a list of where we're going to go. So this, just so you understand, is that we've been working on this since last September. We finally got a commitment from them 2 weeks ago, say yes. So now we need a resolution by the end of this month.
I was just asking if it was time sensitive or whether we could delay a decision on this.
So the resolution, all it does is kickstart, here we're going to really process your application. And we're likely not to get any kind of response until September.
Does it make any difference to the shares from what we already
For now, no.
got in our budget plans?
Definitely not.
That's important to us. Okay, so it's time sensitive. Would someone like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Okay, and that opposed and that carries. 18.5, support for the development of the large hair service resolution. Terry Leclerc.
Yes, so this resolution is to support ACTA services and to implement an action plan to ensure the service at regional level for the province. So ACTA is a service that is offered to our agricultural producers in regards to selling their farm. So basically it's support system, there's a mental health portion to it, there's financial, not financial assistance, but financial advice in regards to when you're selling. They take potential younger buyers, marry them together with potential farmers that want to sell the farm. How does this work out the details in regards to, you know, transaction, how it gets done, livestock, all that fun stuff. So right now this program's been in place for several years through the province. We do have one representative that works with Shanna, who is our agricultural commissar downstairs in economic development. The province, so I call it the just a second, CRAAQ basically is changing the program a little bit. They want to add more people on the territory. So we're asking Mr. Donald Martel, Quebec Minister of Agricultural Fisheries and Food of the Quebec government, of course, to communicate as soon as possible an action plan for the implementation of the main elements of LACTA's business model, including provincial funding, deliver the services throughout Quebec agricultural territory, guaranteed during the transition period leading up to the new business model, the maintenance of regional and territorial funding essential for the preservation of this service, and support and assist the provincial coordination undertaken by CRAC in the transition to the new business model. So there's no dollar amount for us. It is really just a support for this program from this body.
I had a question. Okay, so this will be moved by Mayor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you. We'll go into 18.6. The Outaouais Biofood Sector Development Agreement, ESBO 2025 to 2029.
Yeah, that's the prolongation de l'entente sectorielle de bioalimentaire Outaouais. So this program started, there was a 3-year program that just finished in 2024, which we were a part of. So this is, sorry, 2024 is the last one we finished. It started 3 years before that. This is the third extension of the Uterate Agri-Foods Agreement. The partners are MAPAC, MAMASH, CISO, Service Quebec, Touristes Quebec, the UPA, and the 5 MRCs for a total investment of $2.775 million over 3 years. And the sum of our contribution is $90,000 over 3 years, which is allocated from the FR. Should be paid accordingly, so $30,000 for 2026, 27, 30,000 for 27, 28, and 30,000 for 28, 29.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Someone like to move it? Moved by Mayor Colleen Villiere. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 18.7, the recommendations of the Revitalization Committee, FRR4.
Yes, so, as was mentioned, the agreement known as Component 4, so support, for revitalization and international cooperation, allows for the implementation of projects based on priorities established by the regional council, the projects selected for the funding by the Revitalization Committee. Okay, so we had, 4 submissions. The Revitalization Committee recommended that we support 3 of them. So this is dollars from 2021 to 2025 program. There are remaining dollars, there's interest in there, so there are 3 projects that are being recommended to support. So emergency ice related work at the Shawville Curling Club. The total project cost is $26,275. The FR4 share is $23,124, and promoter shares $3,151. Second project is emergency ice related work for the Shawville Arena. The total cost of the project says $310,000 here. FR share is $100,000, promoter share is $210,000, and then the last one is the creation for a committee for a literacy action plan in the MRC. And because it's an MRC plan, it's $10,000. And now we have staff management of time, basically that's our portion. So there is still, as you guys know, a portion of dollars left in that FR4 budget. I think we have until February 13th, is our next meeting to discuss if there are any other requests or plans or projects that are proposed by the municipalities for that, the remaining dollars.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
There's approximately $136,000 left in that fund.
Regional project, you said.
Regional project, yeah.
Great. Who would like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 18, and I just want to say, I'm very happy. I think we all are that been able to help the Shawville Curling Club and also the condenser with the Shawville Arena. So congratulations, Mayor McCleary, and thank you for, with your community, making us aware of the urgency of those projects. 18.8, acceptance of expenses for the 2026 Visibility and Territorial Marketing Plan, Resolution Terry McClure.
Yeah.
EGA Terry McClure.
The MRC Pontiac and Guides chose plans its visibility and territorial marketing plans for 2026. It aligned with Vision 2030 objectives to strengthen regional identity, enhance tourism appeal, and foster strategic partnerships. This plan combines digital and print initiatives to ensure strong presence at major events and improve accessibility across rural areas. So we have, it's proposed to investments for 2026 on digital and print actions, as I mentioned, to maximize the impact for the into account for rural realities. And then it also, investments are strategic for professional presence at major trade shows. We do several trade shows throughout the year as well to draw more people here. So we were looking for a resolution from council to accept the expenses plan for the implementation of 2026 visibility and territory. So the amount total amount is $75,515.31 before taxes. $60,531.73 basically being expenses paid through the FR2 funding. The $14,983.58, which is the remaining 20% will be our share from shares. However, we're pulling in out of the funds we made out of the bit, so it's basically a net win basically for us. So that's the tourism booth, if you're wondering. So sales of sweaters and hoodies and t-shirts and all hats.
Any comments or questions? I think the boutique is doing very well here.
Extremely well.
I don't know if you notice every time you come, but I see, as I'm in here often, just the turnover and number of people who just come and stop just to pick up gifts. We have beautiful things being made with Pontiac. Wonderful. Okay, we need a resolution. We'd like to move it. Moved by Mayor Joanne Ralston from Bryson. Woo! All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent job, DG Terry Clerk. 19, Public Safety. Julian Gagnon, thanks for your patience. A long meeting for you, waiting. 19.1, Recommendations of the Fire Safety Committee. 19.1.1, Study of the creation of a regional ice rescue team.
Yes, good evening again. This resolution is to create again a recommendation from the CSI committee, and I didn't explain myself to those who are not members of the committee. I call it the CSI committee, but it's a Comité Sécurité Incendie, just so you don't confuse CSI with something else. When I get that often, we don't solve crimes.
Yeah.
We're in the firefighting department, not the police department.
That's right.
So first thing, study of the creation of a regional ice rescue team. So that we brought up, there was a proposal at the committee meeting that we proposed that we integrate what we would call an ice rescue team into the program we already have set up for water rescue and off-road rescue. So for those who don't know, the MRC Pontiac pays the expenses of a fire service that responds to a water rescue call. This would simply be an enlargement of that service to include ice rescue, which is a little different techniques when it comes to saving somebody on an icy river versus an open water river in the summer months. So this resolution would be to mandate myself to look at the cost of training, the equipment involved, soliciting fire departments that may be willing to take that training, and then come back to this table with a recommendation for costs, potentially beginning in 2027.
Okay.
Just a quick question for you, Julie. So for the departments that aren't involved with the off-road or the water rescue, say for like Sean was kind of remote, would they be eligible to have firefighters in their department trained so they
Yes.
could assist in that, or?
Just to give you a little background, the way we did the water rescue training was that the fire departments that had vessels, boats, had at least 5 firefighters trained on each one, up to about 8. And the fire departments that did not have boats have 2 firefighters trained on each department, because most of them know the territory. So if I use Clarendon as an example, or even I can use Litchfield as another. There's a lot of lakes and rivers on the territory that the locals know more than somebody coming in from outside to navigate on the water with, all sorts of things on the river. So for those reasons, we did do that for water rescue. I can't answer yet if we'll do that for the ice rescue as well, but it's certainly viable to at least have somebody. As we all know, water rescue and ice rescue is usually a difference of minutes makes a big difference. Of course, somebody coming from 30 kilometers or 50 kilometers away, sometimes it's the difference between life or death. So that may be an avenue we choose to take, but we'll decide that. We'll get the CSI committee to make a recommendation.
Right, thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Julian. Would like to move this resolution. Moved by Mayor Joanne Ralston. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. And the final item, Julian, is Regional Intermunicipal Mutual Aid Agreement Fire Services Resolution.
Yes, another fire safety committee recommendation. So just a little context on this file. We currently have multiple municipalities with many fire service agreements with their neighbors, what we generally call mutual aid agreements where one fire department can support a neighboring fire department in the extinguishing of a fire. Many municipalities have as many as 10 to 12 agreements with different municipalities, and in most of your municipalities, they range from anywhere from 4 to 12, which creates a scenario where we have over 100 intermunicipal agreements to manage. So the concept was brought to the table at the Fire Safety Committee to propose that we have one regional intermunicipal agreement so that any municipality can answer in another. And the benefit to that is that we don't have to go back and change 100 different agreements every time the rates change, or every time somebody wants to change an agreement that was originally mainly adopted back in 2011, and most municipalities haven't touched them since. So for all those reasons, we are recommending intermunicipal agreement in that sense. The agreement includes things like financial rates, insurance issues, and permissions, of course, under all the various laws for health and safety, and the permission for one fire service or an employee of a fire service to work on the territory of another, and it sets out all the rules and regulations in that regard.
Mayor Squiddy?
Yeah, and so the municipalities would have to accept this.
Correct, so
Individual municipalities.
that's a good point, I should have mentioned that. We are adopting the project or the intermunicipal agreement draft, if you will, in the sense that the MRC, obviously in this case, would be willing to participate, but it is going to be sent to all 18 municipalities and will need to be adopted by resolution of each individual council, with the exception possibly of a bid. But it doesn't exclude that bid because, of course, anybody could also travel there to do fire. Alien and Kaywood, in your case, would still need some form of help from potentially our lake or Shaw or Thorn. So that will apply there. But it is going to be sent to your local municipality for adoption. And only at that point will we be all a part of the agreement once it's accepted at the local level. The other point I wanted to mention is any financial terms, of course, that are involved in this probably only be implemented as of January 2027. We'll give our municipalities several months to go over the details of this kind of agreement and accept it after it passes, if it passes to mayor.
I have a question. Right now, we are relying on Deep River, correct? Okay. Should I be looking at them if there is a fire just in the bush from us? Instead of being way up, or you won't be responding from down here?
No, so you're talking outside, like opposite the other side
In
of
the
the ZEC? As of right now, according to our MRC Pontiac Fire Safety Cover Plan, the territory in the ZEC and there's parts of Sheenborough and Chichester that are completely excluded from fire coverage. So that choice belongs to you, if you'd like to include it or not, but as for your municipality, particularly, it's really just the island.
Okay.
That is required to be responded to for building fires only.
Okay, yeah.
But if they come for any other fire, that's up to you.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions?
And this agreement doesn't override any agreement with the directly with the department already.
Correct. It is, we have indicated in the agreement that it does not supersede any current joint service agreements you have with another municipality for a joint fire service already.
Mayor Quayle?
But would it not mean that agreement, you're standardizing the rates, right, that we charge each other?
Correct.
So would it not supersede?
No, so in an example like Shaw and Clarendon, who pay 50-50 to run and manage a fire service. If there's a fire in Clarendon, they don't offset, there's no rate being paid to the other municipality because they're already paying collectively for that fire service. That's what I mean by joint fire service.
Okay.
But if that same fire department were to respond in Bryson or Bristol or Thorn, those rates would be indicated by that agreement.
And we're excluded, right?
Yeah, there could be a time where maybe, I'll give you an example, just quickly, is to say maybe an investigation of a fire. Those services are something fire departments must do. And if you'd like to participate, maybe there's a situation where we could send somebody up your way after a fire, but the extinguishing of the fire in your case, the distance is just too much.
No, sorry.
Whether you decide to participate.
Mayor Graham?
No, the question that comes up often is the standby coverage fee. So would you take just a moment to explain how that would work in terms of standardization?
Sure. So as part of the intermunicipal agreement, there's an annex that includes in the financial rates that are listed in article. Didn't tell you the number, there's an article that shows hourly rates. And then over and above the hourly rate, there's a section where one municipality, given if that municipality is to respond in another, for a certain number of buildings by law. So take a step back and explain a little bit. The new Fire Safety Act has ministerial orientations that we must comply with the fire safety guideline of the MRC. And in those requirements, some municipalities are obligated to respond and others based on distance, based on time, based on available manpower, so that any given municipality must have the strike, what we call the strike force. That strike force is established based on the description of the building and so on. It's generally 8 firefighters, so many liters of water and so on. If a municipality does not have that capacity, they must call on the neighbor, and that neighbor will then have to respond for every structure fire in that municipality. So we've set out terms which must be agreed upon by municipality, of course, or negotiated if it's not agreed to, that municipalities would share the cost of that expense or the availability of that fire department that must respond in or other municipalities. Those are the terms, but we can discuss that more in detail for each individual municipality when it gets to your council.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
No, well, it was just basically, whenever it comes time to discuss the financial aspect of how it's going to affect, we can do that individually.
Yes,
Yes.
it would be my pleasure to visit your council or
I think
municipality.
that's
to
very
decide.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
to really clarify, answer questions. Okay, who would like to move this resolution? Moved by Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And I think that was unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you, Julian. Thank you for all the hard work that you have, the plans that you have, come up with, the research you have done, to really not only guarantee safety in the Pontiac, but in an orderly way for the future. So thank you. I'd like to give Julian Danielle a big round of applause. Let's think of all the town hall meetings he's been to, lots of challenging questions. You have become really an expert. Thank you. It's really going to be a great thing for MRC community. Well, in some ways, it feels like it's been a long, but eventful meeting. Is there anything on miscellaneous?
No.
How about the second question period in statements? Well, I believe we. Oh, you have a question?
Almost happened.
Okay.
When are we gonna resolve the situation you have with the all? I think that from what I've read and researched, the first time this came up, I don't believe all the mayors were informed, like us new mayors were not.
I have to
I'm
actually.
not done yet.
I know, but Mayor LaFone, this is not the time.
Why not?
Well, because.
It's been 2 years. It's gonna be another 2 years.
Well, you were saying that you're a new mayor.
That's correct.
And perhaps you don't understand all of the background of this issue, but this has been discussed many times. Beg your pardon?
I believe any legal issues are not discussed publicly, they're
That's
generally.
Well, this is not legal.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it is.
Proceedings have started. So, yeah, so we'll just have to draw this to a conclusion right now.
That's just fine.
Well, you're welcome to ask DG Kim Lesage after the meeting any questions you might have, but publicly, we will not be discussing this. Mayor.
I don't have a clue about what you're talking about, other than what it is in the paper. I mean, what business is it about? Really, those two municipalities.
It's
Select it in court.
between one municipality and the MRC, and it just comes down to payment of shares, and that's it. So nothing more to discuss on this tonight, that is my ruling. So I'm looking for now someone who will move resolution to close the meeting, that's right. And you are going to move it, thank you very much, Mayor. And again, now, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries, thank you.
But Terry, as a mayor at this table, because it is on municipality and the MRC